is Friday. Happy Friday. Well, we had a lot of rain along the southeast and east coast yesterday. Again, with floods in Savannah and other areas, and severe weather out in the upper Midwest to Great Plains. You can see there's a short wave trough pushing through there right now, with attendant convection going on. But look at the long wave infrared. You can see where the convection is just as a higher, colder cloud tops. You can see the upper levels again. We're kind of stuck in this moisture feed from southwest and northeast. What looks to be a short wave in the flow here. That high pressure system is kind of becoming flattened out. It was up in the back out west, which is going to promote more of a stagnant flow pattern, which is going to lead to flooding rains up here in the upper Midwest. Eventually, that's going to shift south into Texas. These stagnant patterns are not uncommon for this time of year, but I think all our awareness is heightened about floods and stuff, things like that, based on the extreme event that happened in Texas. So I think it's important to remember to keep your make sure you have weather alerts enabled on your phone. That's the simplest thing you can do. There's a way to opt out of those too, and if you opted out, I suggest you change that. It's really not a bad thing. It's a very easy thing to do, and it could save your life. Cool, awesome. Good portion of the U.S. still pretty hot. This is ending today at 8 p.m. Oops, excuse me. And then heats back up in the upper Midwest. Still pretty hot on much of the U.S., and it gets even hotter as the days progress. Monday looks to be one of the hotter days in the southeast and most of the deep south, all the way up into the upper Midwest. Cooling off again in the upper Midwest, staying really hot, especially in the southeast and southwest. Cooling off again, upper Midwest. Actually looking kind of nice, actually for about a week from now. And the deep south, DC Alley territory, looks to be pretty hot. You can see a bullseye in the upper Midwest to the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes for slight risk, with already some flood watch in these areas. The heavy rainfall and some flood warnings already ongoing here, with another risk for flooding today in the Carolinas, which we've had flooding rains already. And I just hope this eases off in the coming days. Going to day 2, it's really in the same area. Um, Slight risk again, but good portion of the Midwest, Ohio Valley, um, all along the southeast, marginal risk. Up into Wyoming, parts of Colorado, down into northeast Texas. Whew. And look at that. That's not good. Slight risk back on the Texas and areas that really don't need the rain anymore. Any more rain. All right. I hope that doesn't happen. Going past A3, different marginal areas northeast that can't seem to catch a break. Mid Atlantic, the Florida, upper Midwest again. As far as amounts, you can see I have it calibrated to at least 0.25 inches of rain. Centered in Iowa. Just going to move the point. See different probabilities here. Um, but anyway, expect relatively heavy rain in those areas. Slowly moving to the south, with some focused areas in the northeast, mid-Atlantic, southeast, and in concert with the um, weather prediction center's outlooks, you can see the heavy rains move south into Texas, Oklahoma, drying out in a good portion of the upper Midwest, all the way out west, really. The monsoon is kind of muted, but a little bit going into New Mexico there by next Monday. Now, when I'm recording this, about 5 in the morning. We got flood watches, flood warnings, severe thunderstorm watch in the same area, and Ohio Valley, Iowa area. Uh, Out west here, we have extreme heat advisory, extreme heat watch, and a few severe thunderstorm warnings. Trying to see those here, but watches and warnings for extreme thunderstorm warnings. Excuse me, and severe thunderstorm watch, severe thunderstorm warning, severe thunderstorm watch. Intense fog advisory here in the Appalachians, and really the hazards right now are not. There's not a lot of them, but this flood watch and the flood warnings, we need to keep an eye on this today. And the flow in the atmosphere will tell you what's going on. You have it's 500 millibars with about halfway up. We'd like to look at this for upper level flow patterns. Um, Focusing on the flood areas here, you can see there's like a short wave amplifying right over the areas where we're talking about flooding, and also in the upper Midwest as well. And so these short waves can help enhance lift, which is exactly what's going to happen here. And it doesn't move very much. You can see it's preceding a stronger short wave behind it. You can see over time, you really have a lot of enhanced flow. It kind of shifts to the east a little bit. But really, this trough, this upper level shortwave, is not really moving a lot. But you can see the dip in the pattern here as we get later in the period with the high pressure that dominated the deep, the desert southwest, excuse me, has kind of flattened out. This is allowing more flow to come down into the Texas area. You can see there's some hints of you have northerly flow coming down here and southerly flow. Not very strong, but what this tells me is we're possibly setting up maybe for an upper level low to develop out, mid-level low in this area. So as we look at a longer range model like the European, this could give us a hint as to what the evolution of that would be. Really, not really apparent what's going on here, although you can see some enhanced flow in this area of Texas. And you can see the flow at the mid-levels and low level. Oh, you can see that right there. See the flow coming right out of the Gulf of Mexico with enhanced low-level jet. That's the moisture transport, which is a harbinger of more flooding headed our way for this area. That being said, let's look at the short-term model radar output for the next 48 hours. You can see the convection in the upper Midwest kind of waning for a little while, then picks up again. That short wave apparent with its lift causing convection up here in the way up there by the Canadian border. Convection really increases, is really stagnant. You know, in the deep south and things like that, it's going to be harder to tell where these convections are going to set up, but this model is hitting it at some kind of boundary down here in South Georgia. This persistent flow will kind of move east a little bit. And wane over the next 24 to 48 hours, but then convection really picks up again on Saturday, late in the day, over a good portion of the area. So this weekend might be a washout for the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, or part of the weekend for the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, Mississippi Valley, Ohio Valley, with some really heavy rains in Mexico. Texas really doesn't need any more rain. Let's hope this doesn't come to pass. Severe weather chances with categorical slight risk today. straight over where the flooding risk is, which makes sense. But there's going to be a lot of enhanced flow here, so there's going to be a tornado risk, 2 and 5% wind risk for a broad area, hail over the center areas, which is kind of unusual having hail over where you have um, flood chances, but that's what the forecast calls for. So about the categorical risk for day 2 moves into the Ohio Valley, really. Marginal risk stretching all the way down to Texas, Colorado, Kansas, South Kansas, Missouri, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin. General thunderstorm risk around the rest of the eastern part of the U.S. The marginal risk for storms, severe weather, stretched out for a good portion of the deep south, Mississippi Valley up into the northeast, Pennsylvania. The biggest threats here, uh, tornado risk. Looks like 2%. Uh, yeah, 2% in that area. 10% chance of severe winds with 5% in the rest of the areas. Hail, same thing. 5% risk along that area there. Going to day 3, you can only do a categorical risk. That's what they do that far out. So you have 10% marginal risk in these areas here, like I showed you a minute ago. So accompanying, the flooding rains, the severe weather could really exasperate things, especially in areas that are experiencing flooding at the same time. Like I said, keep weather aware and make sure you can receive alerts from your phone. And if maybe it's a good idea to purchase a weather radio too. And if you do go somewhere this weekend, take it with you. Anyway, be safe out there and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy the content. Hope this is helpful to people. Talk to you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye. How's the flow in the atmosphere going to relate to conditions on the ground where you can see the convection out in the Ohio Valley, Midwest, where we're having flooding risk today? Kind of wanes for a little while, but then short wave moves back through. The short wave up in the upper Midwest kind of pushes through, and the precipitation pushes east. To see how it fires back up again up here, and where we discussed about the flooding risk, severe weather risk, and for a good other portion of the southeast, just pop up thunderstorms. Always give the potential for severe pulse type weather with a more organized line in the Mississippi Valley, and then it kind of dissipates over time. So this is Sunday at 6 a.m. If we go a little bit, 6Z, go a little bit further out with the NAM, which is the one of the other American models. After 48 hours, you can see it shows has a pretty stout, looks to be an MCV of some sort stuck in this area where that. Hopefully it won't stay there. This is 60 hours out, which is about 12 o'clock Sunday afternoon. So that's it for today, guys. I appreciate y'all, and I love y'all. And I'm going to kind of take a nod from my friend Mitch West, who um, honors God with every time he talks, and he's a amazing guy, and he's another weather enthusiast, knows his stuff that's on YouTube, and I respect him 100%. And I feel like God has been speaking to me that I need to honor him a little bit more and make it known to people that I believe in him. And God, I know a lot of people think that God doesn't see what's going on in the world and doesn't understand why things happen the way they do. All I can say is pray and, you know, do the best you can in your life. And if you pray, it doesn't mean all your prayers are going to come true. I would just pray for the families that all these things have happened to, and just for some clarity in their lives. You know what I mean? Anyway, God bless y'all, and have a great day.